Welcome to our deep dive into the world of ancient gladiators, the fierce fighters of the Roman Empire. You know, when we think about the vastness of space and the mysteries of the universe, it's easy to forget that our own planet holds incredible stories, tales of courage, spectacle, and human drama. And few things capture those elements quite like the gladiatorial arenas of ancient Rome. These weren't just brutal spectacles, they offer us a glimpse into a complex society, its values, its beliefs, and its relationship with violence and entertainment. So, get ready to journey back in time as we explore the real lives of these ancient warriors beyond the blood and sand of the Colosseum. Our journey begins not in Rome, but surprisingly, with the Etruscans, a civilization that predates the Roman Empire. They believed that spilling blood could appease the spirits of the dead, leading to ritual combat at funerals. The Romans, always keen on adopting and adapting, saw something in these brutal displays. They weren't just about death, but about honor, courage, and the thrill of the fight. And so, the first gladiatorial games, the Munera, were held in 264 BCE, a spectacle that would captivate Rome for centuries. These early games were far from the grand spectacles of the Colosseum. They were smaller, more intimate affairs, often held in the Forum Boarium, Rome's cattle market. But the seeds of something powerful were sown. The Romans had tasted blood, and their appetite for gladiatorial combat would only grow. Now, you might think of gladiators as just mindless brutes, but that's a misconception. They were skilled fighters, trained in various weapons and combat styles. Think of them as the elite athletes of their time, captivating audiences with their prowess. But here's the thing, gladiators were more than just fighters, they were performers. They understood the importance of showmanship, of playing to the crowd, of giving the people what they wanted. A skilled gladiator knew how to turn a fight into a story, a dance with death that had the audience on the edge of their seats. They understood the power of anticipation, the ebb and flow of combat, the drama of a near miss, the roar of the crowd when a blow landed. And this is where the true genius of the gladiatorial games lay, in the seamless blend of sport and spectacle. Imagine stepping into the Colosseum, the air thick with anticipation. You hear the roar of the crowd as different classes of gladiators prepare to clash. Each type, a specialized warrior, trained to fight in a unique style, their weapons and armor carefully chosen. The Murmillo, heavily armored, a walking tank wielding a gladius, the iconic Roman short sword. The Thracian, nimble and agile, armed with a curved sica, a deadly weapon in close quarters. And then, there's the Retiarius, the netman, lightly armored, relying on speed and agility. He carried a trident and a net, attempting to ensnare his opponent before finishing them off. The Secutor, the pursuer, often pitted against the Retiarius, relying on brute strength and a distinctive helmet to counter his opponent's net. The Samnite, named after a fierce tribe that once challenged Roman might, armed with a large shield and a sword. And the Hoplomachus, inspired by Greek warriors, wielding a spear and a small round shield. Each type of gladiator brought their own strengths and weaknesses to the arena, creating a dynamic and unpredictable spectacle. It was a deadly game of chess, where strategy, skill, and a bit of luck could mean the difference between life and death. Now, becoming a gladiator was no walk in the park. It required intense training, discipline, and a high tolerance for pain. These warriors were honed in specialized schools, like the Ludus Magnus, the largest of the gladiatorial schools in Rome. Here, under the watchful eye of the lanista, the gladiator's owner and trainer, they learned the art of combat. Imagine the clang of wooden swords against shields, the grunts of exertion, the shouts of instructors. These men, and sometimes even women, were pushed to their physical and mental limits. They trained in all weather conditions, sparred against each other, and learned to fight as a unit. The lanista, often a former gladiator himself, knew what it took to survive in the arena. He was responsible for their training, their well-being, and ultimately, their success or failure in the arena. The life of a gladiator wasn't all glory and fame. Many were slaves, prisoners of war, or condemned criminals forced into the arena. They were, in the eyes of Roman society, at the very bottom rung. But, and this is where it gets interesting, the arena offered a chance, however slim, for upward mobility. A skilled gladiator, one who could captivate the crowd, could gain fame, fortune, and even freedom. Imagine the roar of the crowd, chanting your name, as you stand victorious in the arena. With each victory, a gladiator earned not just coin, but reputation. They could become celebrities, their faces on mosaics, their names whispered in taverns. Some even earned their freedom, retiring from the arena to live out their days in relative comfort. The story of the gladiator, then, is a complex one, a blend of tragedy and triumph, of despair and hope, played out on the grand stage of the Roman Empire. Now the fate of a gladiator rested not just on his skill, but on the whims of the crowd. They were a fickle bunch, these Roman spectators. They craved blood, they demanded entertainment, and they held the power of life and death in their hands. The roar of the crowd could lift a gladiator's spirits, while their silence could be deafening. And then there's the famous thumbs up, thumbs down gesture, a decision point for a fallen gladiator. While the exact gesture is debated by historians, the sentiment remains. The crowd, and sometimes the emperor himself, decided whether a defeated gladiator would live to fight another day, or be granted a swift death. It was a stark reminder of the brutality of the games, and the power dynamics at play. Now you might think that gladiatorial combat was all about death, but it's a bit more complicated than that. You see, gladiators were valuable commodities. Their owners, the lanistae, invested heavily in their training and upkeep. A dead gladiator meant a financial loss, so while death was always a possibility, it wasn't always the desired outcome. Successful gladiators, those who survived and thrived in the arena, could even earn their freedom. They could retire, perhaps even become trainers themselves, passing on their skills to the next generation of warriors. Imagine hanging up your sword and shield, walking away from the roar of the crowd, and into a life beyond the arena. It was a dream that kept many gladiators going, a glimmer of hope in a world of violence and uncertainty. As the Roman Empire evolved, so too did its attitudes towards gladiatorial combat. The rise of Christianity, with its emphasis on compassion and forgiveness, played a significant role in the decline of the games. Emperors like Constantine the Great, who embraced Christianity, saw the brutality of the arena as incompatible with their faith. Political instability and economic woes also contributed to the decline. The once grand spectacles became too expensive to maintain. And so, in 404 AD, Emperor Honorius issued an edict officially banning gladiatorial combat. The Colosseum, once a symbol of Roman might and entertainment, fell silent. The era of the gladiator, after centuries of captivating audiences, had come to an end. The gladiators may be gone, but they're far from forgotten. Their legend lives on in popular culture, from films like Gladiator to documentaries and video games. These depictions, while often romanticized, capture our enduring fascination with these ancient warriors. We're drawn to their stories of courage, their skill with weapons, the thrill of the fight. But it's important to remember that these were real people, with their own hopes, dreams, and fears. They lived in a brutal world, where survival was never guaranteed. By understanding their lives, we gain a deeper appreciation for the complexities of history and the enduring power of the human spirit. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the lives of ancient gladiators. We've explored their world, from the origins of gladiatorial combat to the decline of the games, from the training grounds to the roar of the Colosseum. We've seen the brutality, the skill, the despair, and the hope that define their lives. The gladiators may be long gone, but their stories continue to resonate with us today. They remind us of the power of spectacle, the allure of violence, and the enduring human spirit in the face of adversity. Stay tuned for more fascinating historical insights.